But speaking of Mandalorian, let's start talking about the Mandalorian.
Yeah, because we
Um,
definitely we skipped around the entire like notes for this episode.
yeah, so let's start with the Mandalorian. So first thing I want to say is just it combines two genres that I didn't realize I loved when they were combined so much until I started watching, I think, Trigun, and that's rewatching Trigun, but and that's sci-fi and westerns. I love Cowboy Bebop. I love Trigun. I love The Mandalorian. When you combine sci-fis with, a traditional American western like movie or TV show type genre, it's always great. I've never seen one that's better,
Mm.
and it's done more often than people think, especially in anime.
I feel okay. The Mandalorian. It's actually funny that you mentioned samurai because the Mandalorian's plot is basically I forget what it is, but it's a samurai movie where this guy.
Yeah. The thing that we should take into consideration is that samurai films were based off of American westerns.
I thought American westerns are based on samurai films.
It's one of those. I'm pretty sure it's
It's one of them. It's one of them.
I'm
That's
pretty
one of
sure
them.
it's
That's why the genres are so similar. Like, but all right. Well, while he's looking it up, the plot of the Mandalorian is essentially I don't remember the name of the movie.
Oh, I just want to say that I don't even have to look it up, and the reason I know that it's the other way, it's the way I said it, is because westerns were inspired by a real person that went through some wild stuff that you think would be out of a movie. And he wasn't a marshal, but he became a marshal. He went through some super wild stuff that seems like it should be in a movie, and there are several movies about it. And he's the reason why westerns exist, and people started basically making movies similar to the events he went through. And for the life of me, can't remember his name. The movie that's about him is called Tombstone. And he basically just went through something that's so wild. He literally went through like a western and survived. and it was something out of a movie. And nobody can really be true. I mean, sure, if this is like 100% truth and he wasn't just lying, but based on what like a lot of people say, he isn't lying and he's telling the truth and he went through all this stuff. And that's where westerns came from. Look up Tombstone.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm about to watch this.
Yeah, Tombstone's really good. Kurt Russell, Wyatt Earp, that's his name. Wyatt Earp was the man that inspired westerns. He was basically a real life. I mean, cowboys really exist, but I mean, he was basically like the inspiration for all westerns.
Okay.
No, they didn't.
Oh yeah, no. Westerns, samurai movies were inspired by westerns, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, I knew I was right.
But there are.
I mean,
there are also westerns inspired by samurai movies.
I was about to say, but I know which one came first because westerns weren't inspired by like samurai. Westerns were inspired by like actual westerns, and then samurai films were inspired by westerns, and then it kind of just went in a circle. And American people saw samurai movies and started making westerns based off samurai movies, and samurai movies were based off westerns, so they kind of were just making movies that were kind of inspired by themselves. That was a weird tangent to go off on, but I mean, not really.
It was. Hold on.
It really wasn't, because we were just talking about the Mandalorian being a western, and for there to be a samurai version of that. And was it?
Yeah.
What's the name of the episode? The episode where you first meet the lady. What's her name?
Episode 4. Cara Dune.
Cara Dune, yeah. When you first meet her, it's basically based off Seven Samurai. And as much as I've never seen that movie, and I'm never going to watch that movie because that movie's like 3 hours and 45 minutes long, I'm not going to watch that movie. It's way too long. Maybe in pieces, but even then, I don't know. It's just.
I'm definitely planning to watch it in pieces.
But I've seen like some of my favorite episodes of shows are based off of Seven Samurai, where it's people come to a village of people that are like under attack, and they teach them how to fight back, and then they help them fight back. Like there was an episode of the Clone Wars about that. There was literally a show that's a sci-fi version of that called Samurai 7, and it's an anime. It's like a miniseries.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
I watched it a long time ago in Toonami. It's on, I think, Hulu right now. I might rewatch it eventually. But yeah, I love those type of episodes. Maybe I'll watch them eventually. It's way too long. Like I said, I would have to watch it in like 30, maybe 45-minute pieces, because sitting down and watching a movie for it would have to be something like Avengers, something that has been built up over 10 years that I have been waiting for 10 years to finally watch, for me to make me want to sit down and watch a movie that's over 3 hours long. Otherwise, there's no build up. It's just 3 hours long and it's critically acclaimed. But otherwise, I have no insinuation to watch that movie. That probably wasn't even the right word to use, but still. Anyway, back to Mandalorian.
Yes, Mandalorian.
But yeah, like we were saying, it's like it's a western. It's a western in space, and it still manages to show kind of like a smaller view of the Star Wars universe while still expanding on previous things, like what happened to Mandalorians. You know what we're probably about to find. We're definitely going to find out what Ahsoka's been doing after because this is
Ahsoka has been out looking for Ezra with Sabine. Like I feel like people keep forgetting the fact that the end of Rebels takes place the exact same year as Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, I know that she's looking for him. I'm just saying, like, well, also a lot of people probably don't know that. Or a lot of people don't even know who she is. When they see her, they're like, oh, who's this cool looking Jedi woman? But we don't know in detail exactly what she's been doing. So it'll be cool to actually see what she's been up to. We just know
I feel like
looking for Ezra.
I feel like Sabine's gonna be with her. Like I feel like people keep like Star Wars accounts I follow, but
I feel like Sabine's gonna be with her too.
Yeah, because like literally the end of Rebels, like the last scene of Rebels takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, which is the same year the Mandalorian takes place. So it's just like they were leaving together like when that started, unless this takes place like right before that scene or something like that. Like they were leaving together to go find Ezra. So I'm like, they gotta find him. Like, and plus there's like rumors of a Rebels sequel show. Yeah, and if they make that, I swear to God, my life will be complete. Like,
yeah,
oh my God, I will.
For me, I think, I don't know, there's just so many possibilities for what they can do with Star Wars that I feel like they don't do. And they also have like a vault of non-canon material that they could make canon if they decide to.
Oh, for sure. Like the Star Wars Legends.
They have a vault of just ideas from Legends that they could pull out and use whenever they want and like change to like fit in the story wherever they want to make it fit. Like, yeah, no things they can use. They refuse to use it sometimes, though. The only reason
it's not just they refuse to like.
The only reason
they should act like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, the only reason any of it ever makes it out is because the some of the writers and directors will purposely put that stuff into their movies and comics or whatever, like because they want people to see this part of the universe that has been buried by the people that are currently hitting up Lucasfilm, and they have so much. They have so much stuff, and
they really do.
Burying it for no reason.
One of the reasons I like Solo so much, it's my second favorite Star Wars movie. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. A lot of people don't like Solo. I don't know why you don't like Solo. It's a fun movie. Like, there's no reason not to like the movie. One of the reasons I like Solo so much is it takes almost everything about Han Solo's backstory and changes almost none of it. Like, Han Solo, the basic rundown of Han Solo's backstory in Star Wars Legends, which is what like the giant treasure trove of like 40 years of video games, books, comics, like all that stuff that Disney just decided to wipe away and make non-canon. Star Wars Legends, his basic rundown is he was an Imperial stormtrooper. He was in training to be an Imperial stormtrooper. He saw Chewbacca and his mistreatment as a Wookiee because the Empire was using Wookiees as slaves. He didn't like that. He helped Chewbacca start a coup or something like that to like free the Wookiees. They wound up becoming best friends and going on the run from the Empire. Basically, and became smugglers and outlaws. Like, that's basically what it was, and that's basically what the movie was. So I'm like, they stuck to that pretty clearly, and I really like that. There's just so much they could really pull from in Legends. And even all of Knights of the Old Republic is literally like,
played any of those games. They like or like they're pulling stuff from Star Wars games and putting it into the Mandalorian, which is super dope. And
yeah, Dark Troopers.
The Mandalorian already feels like an RPG. It feels like a video game because he feels like he goes on side quests and he just
fetch quests.
Does stuff all the time. It feels like a literal video game sometimes when he's going off and doing stuff. Like the second episode felt like something from video game. It felt like some side quest. He ran into a boss spider. And the baby.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Like
the baby eating those eggs were weird. It was weird. It weirded me out. Him eating those eggs weirded me out.
I knew I couldn't be the only one that got weirded out by that.
Because when he first,
I'm glad that other people were also weirded out by it. To me, it's dumb to think that or to be like, people are like, oh, cancel the show, cancel. That's stupid to me.
Like, we eat eggs. Like, it's not that deep. Like,
yes, we eat eggs all the time. Like,
but like the first time he did it, I was like, oh God, that's horrifying. Why? And then he kept doing it. And I was like, no, please, God, why do you keep making him do this? This is unnecessary. This didn't need to happen. The story could have went on fine without him eating all of those eggs. The first time, sure. But he just kept doing it. And at the very end, at the very end, he just eats another one. And then in the episode after that, when he was playing with the little baby frog, I was scared he wasn't going to eat that frog. Because
I knew he wasn't going to eat the frog.
He already eats frogs.
He does.
And then he eats frogs' eggs. So what's to keep him from eating this tadpole?
I knew he wasn't going to eat it. It was I wasn't worried about him eating the tadpole, honestly. But at the same time, maybe it was just me being too excited about Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorian showing up. Like that, I think that might have overshadowed it. Like if I go back and watch it, I might be like, oh, don't eat it. But
that wig.
Yeah, no, I wasn't worried about it.
That wig was so obvious. And I'm the type
it really was. They could have done better with the wig.
I'm the type of person who almost never notices a wig while every other person goes, oh my God, that wig, it looks horrible. And I'm like, it doesn't even look like a wig to me. I thought that was her real hair.
I'm the same way, but I definitely noticed it.
I noticed it. I was like, first off, I know what her real hair looks like. So I knew that wasn't her real hair.
Yeah.
But also, it was very clearly, it looks like, it looks like it's attached to that like headband on her head. And she just put the headband on and the hair comes out of the headband.
Yeah.
It was cool to see her in live action.
It was really cool. I love Bo-Katan. I've always loved Bo-Katan. What I don't understand though, and even I had to look back at myself with this, Bo-Katan started out as basically a terrorist.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like Death Watch was a terrorist organization. And then she winds up becoming like over Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, she winds up becoming like a hero.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just weird to me how easy people are able to forget that she was a terrorist. Like I forgot she was a terrorist, and I went back and watched Clone Wars because I made my mom watch all the Clone Wars and Rebels episodes that Mandalorians were in, just so she could understand. Because I knew she wasn't gonna get the impact of the episode unless she saw that. But that made her go back and watch it.
Did you watch the end of season 7?
She did, because I made her watch like all the episodes.
If you're gonna watch all the Mandalorian episodes, you gotta watch the end of season 7. Those are like
I made her watch that. I made her watch the
3 episodes of the entire series. That show is so good.
Oh yeah. I made her watch that. I made her watch basically every episode in Star Wars Rebels or Star Wars The Clone Wars that Mandalorian showed up in. Like every single episode.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's only like 21 episodes total, like out of both shows. So like, yeah, no, it's really only like 21 episodes. But
I was gonna say in reality, like if you were to take it super, super literal, every episode featuring Mandalorians, then nearly every episode of Rebels would count because of Sabine. But
yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It was like only because obviously Sabine, but like I meant like stuff that was like important to Mandalorian, like history or culture or lore, like increasing the lore and stuff.